Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent to that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse through the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from hitting your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop. Alan, we're back. We're ready to rock and roll. We got to do another episode. We've got to get this thing rocking, rolling. I mean, I'm talking like, let's get out there. Let's roll the pinball. Let's not hit tilt. You know what I'm saying, Alan? Let's go. You didn't think I've been working on that one. I have been. That's right. Don't tilt the machine. Tilt the wheel. Tilt into it. Let's lean into it. Let's make it happen, Alan. You didn't know I had a ball, but I got them all going.
You are so out of control.
I am out of control. You know, tilt me over. I'm having fun. Oh, my God. How's your mom and Dim? Let's go. All right.
Good Lord.
We have got to rock and roll, Alan.
We switched from bourbon to wine, and I think this is what happens.
It does. I should be more sophisticated now, Alan.
I've
had my
sophisticated Chris
right,
once in a while.
Right. Every once in a while he comes out. He does drink wine. He has the pinky out. He does today. So we are cheersing with wine. We have Lisa Tilt here from Tilt Marketing here in Alpharetta, Georgia. Maybe Roswell. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Let's just round up. It's Georgia. And we've been trying to get her on the podcast ever since Alan met her at a networking event and said, we got to get this lady on, man. She's got a great story to tell.
You want to know how I met her?
I do.
I was sitting in my truck and I see this car and I'm like, she's going to hit me.
I'm very good at backing in. I'm very good.
and then, but I noticed she had what's
JMU.
Yeah, JMU bumper sticker.
James Madison.
And the Ducks were about to play them in the playoffs. And so we got a good conversation going, and all of a sudden I found out she's a rock star. I mean, we've had some interesting marketing people on. She's kind of the real deal.
All right, we got to do it. You're teeing her up.
I know.
So she says,
I don't know if I want her to surprise us, but I mean, when her college project was the Heisman Trophy campaign for
Charlie
Ward.
Who won that year.
And that's how she started.
How am I doing?
Yeah.
Did you peak early or she keep on peaking?
No, she
keeps on peaking.
Yeah,
she did, didn't she?
She did.
Guys, we got Lisa Tilt on Tilt Marketing. Lisa, great intro. Let's go back to that then. So you went to Florida State?
I did.
And you said, I got to rock Seminoles. We got to make it happen.
Yeah.
Did you grow up here and go down there?
I grew up here, and everybody I knew went to UT.
Number one party school, Florida State, so that's why you went.
I was thrilled.
Mom was so happy.
I said, sure, yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Well,
here.
You're not the first Florida State grad that we've had on. We've had my buddy Greg Spencer on from Timber Resorts, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And when I met him, we were working at Accenture together, and we compared stories. And he loves telling the story like this, even though he's a pretty impressive dude. But he said, where'd you go? I said, Michigan Tech. He goes, I said it was 3-1 guys to girls. He goes, yeah, I went to Florida State. It was 7-1 girls to guys. I said, oh, my God. He goes, how many years did it take you to graduate? I said, 4 and a quarter because I was playing football. And he goes, and that's why it took me 7 years to get my poli-sci degree. He is not exactly true, but yes, what a great school to go to. Yes, Mom is so proud.
Yeah.
So proud. But you get this, let's talk about that. We can talk about is that a senior project? How do you get involved in that?
Well, I was really involved in essentially sort of marketing the football team. We were headed, it was the time in Florida State history where we were making it to the championship game. We actually won, I guess, my sophomore year, I believe. Can't remember the exact year, which is blasphemous and FSU.
I'm sure a lot of.
And I was going to have Greg listen to this, and now he just went click.
I know. I'm actually truly a Seminole. Anyway, I was in an organization called Scout Hunters, which of course now the name has changed to like Spirit People.
You are spirit.
We're Spirit People. I know.
What is your spirit animal? Thank you.
Exactly. But anyway, it's really about focusing on the football team. And then I was in radio, actually was my major at the time, media communications, and I found my way to radio. And then there was an opportunity to work with Charlie Ward, as he was working on his path to very much the underdog. And you know, probably won't remember this particular year, but he was really more into basketball. He actually ended up going into the NBA instead of for
I
football.
do remember that.
Yeah, big baseball player too. I mean, he was just really, and it just the nicest human. And so it really, you know, he really kind of had a group of people. He, you know, he's in my classes, he was in my grade and all that kind of stuff. And we're like, you know, there's something here. And for anybody looking to, you know, reach that peak for a Heisman, even, you know, the sort of nomination process, it's a campaign like anything else.
So what does that campaign look like? I mean, I know like in Oregon they had, you know, billboards on Times Square and things like that. Is it that? I mean, are you influencing voters that way, or is there a little more behind the scenes going on?
Well, it's all of it actually, because there, you know, there's a whole path for the sports information directors or working their normal path. I mean, even to get bids at the time for championship games and things like that. So it's all kind of wrapped up into what you normally do to get different bowl spots and things like that. In particular, when we were talking about this for Charlie Ward, it was very much sort of this community campaign piece of it that very grassroots, very much about just getting the awareness out there along the college campus, and then how that then would grow, right? It was before social media. It was before even, you know, mobile phones and all those
Whoa,
kinds of
don't
things.
date yourself, Lisa. You're not as old as us. Well,
Yes, I am. I appreciate that.
yeah, yeah. But
She
you're
can't
right.
be.
But you talk about building that campaign. What a great resume builder and doing what you did. And so you get out of school, then what? You're like, I'm in marketing, I'm in radio, I'm about to shoot to the top, I'm going to go to Howard Stern.
No, not my goal.
Okay.
I can
Whoops.
clearly say not my no. But I was in radio actually here in Atlanta, and so starting at 19 for anybody who's in Atlanta, at Z93 classic rock radio. Loved the vibe there. Loved the music. Grew up in, you know, 70s music, and so every time I came back in the summers, I would work here, and you know, Atlanta's a top 10 media market, so the plan was always great, get media communications, radio, and then come back to Atlanta and work there at Z because I had a job. So I did that at Z93 for a while, more on the promotion side and the marketing side in radio.
So
How
at that
wild
point,
was that?
she's achieved her goals already,
Well, that's-
right?
You know, well, I did. I
Yeah.
didn't even realize. I walked in there and I said, this is at 19, by the way. So I come home after my second year of college. And I'm like, I need a summer job. I'll walk into a major market radio station, and they hired me. And I sort of never looked back. And then I set the next goal and the next goal. And I'm doing things with, it was the first FM station that any NFL team had ever gone on. So
Really?
yes, the Atlanta Falcons went, so their games were aired, and it was, like I said, first FM station for NFL. And so we were doing some really interesting things, but it was, you know, every holiday, every weekend, we're out there with the DJs running, and I'm in bars and
and when you're young, that's great. And just like when I was in consulting, when you're young, it is awesome to travel the world.
absolutely.
And then you have family, you have kids, you get a knee that hurts a little bit, and you're still on airplanes all the time, and you're like, oh my God, this really sucks.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all right, so
So I switched to music because of that. So I was with promotions, and there are literally a handful of promotions jobs at the time in radio, and I wasn't going to go to off market because it just wasn't my vibe. So, and all those people were sitting pretty, right? They're in their jobs, and it's a nice job. And so then I found my way to an entertainment PR firm, and I ran sports and entertainment for them. But in the meantime, I was doing music publicity on the side. So bands like, you know, Sean Mullins and Matchbox 20, and, you know, the Indigo Girls when they would come in town. I lived in Decatur. I worked, you know, Eddie's Attic, and was, you know, just in that jam forever. So music is my whole, really everything. And so, you know, as a very young person working in music publicity, and it just was, it just lended itself to so many stories, and how I worked with different many, many different personalities.
Well, we've had Southside Steve Rickman on. We've heard those stories. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on.
Steve was on.
Oh yeah, baby. He's a big. Oh yeah, we could text him right now after we're done.
That's amazing.
Yeah, come on. He told us the story. He came on here and he curled our nose hairs, Alan.
As you
Yes.
as you would in radio at the time.
Yeah, he said it was back in the day. So those stories aren't real. He goes, oh, they were 100%.
Oh, they're 100% real.
So I moved here in 2001, and they were doing the regular guys and on the radio, and I thought for sure that it was just all a bit. And he goes, oh no, they were actually shooting me with a BB gun. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. He goes, oh, yeah,
yeah, and so that was 96 Rock,
Yeah.
right? And so Z and 96 Rock, and then 99X had just come on the market. And kind of as we were starting to kind of work in the music industry, because I was part of the Recording Academy, which is NARIS that puts on the Grammys. I was a voting member for years, and went to the Grammys. And so, like, as my music career, not as a musician, behind the scenes, I wish I could play, but I cannot.
right.
But I loved the industry so much, and so then kind of as I developed into different areas of the profession, I just loved a bit of I've always loved radio, and it's really interesting now, the evolution with satellite and everything that's coming. There's still commercial radio, but it has to find a new path.
All right. So why did we bring Lisa on?
Question.
Because she's amazing.
She is amazing. I mean, obviously we could talk stories forever about this,
Yeah,
but we want to talk
clients
about.
all over the world. I mean,
She does.
we should talk about
But-
what she's doing now.
Well, that's what I say.
But
So-
I mean, she was involved with professional sports teams, and Charlie Ward, and then the music. I mean, it's
we just heard that,
stunning.
Alan.
I know,
Yeah, why are you recapping?
because you just asked a dumb question. You're -1.
Damn it. All right. Well, I'll get more wine. I'll get back on it. So why the flip? Why start your own business? And what did you start?
Just like what you said, music, entertainment, 24/7 job, and I had it, and I had done it for so long, and I loved it, and I still love it. I kind of miss it a little bit, but there was a point in time where I said, I have different interests in the business world of really understanding how business is functioning beyond sports and entertainment. And I was working at sort of the world's largest PR firm, then went to another company that I was working on big brands. And so I got into the development of brands that are just more business driven, even though I did a lot of food work at the time. And then at one point, it was sort of a little bit of a toxic culture. And I found out that I was pregnant with my first child. So I literally saw the family writing on the wall. And so I said, I need to find something else in terms of a work environment. Didn't know exactly what that would be. So I left that job and then sat on my front porch and did interviews and said, I don't know what I want to do. And I kept kind of turning down perfectly lovely jobs, but they were exactly the same, working for a similar kind of environment. And I didn't know. So I just, I think somebody in our wedding party I said, well, I don't know what you want to do. And I said, neither do I. Do you have any ideas? And she said, we are looking to, start up PR campaign, do a new website. We don't know who we are. It was a company in the staffing industry at the time, still around. And they said, just come in and meet and do some freelance work. And that really is sort of how it started, because then our company, so Full Tilt, is 20 years old this year. And that seems batty. I'm not
Right?
gonna lie.
It feels like forever and
It's
instantly,
not
right? At the same breath.
time. Yeah.
I'm at 18 and we just had this same conversation where it seems like it just happened yesterday and it feels like it's been forever. So interesting enough, I love this entrepreneurial story because we hear this so often, is that it was somebody else who gave you the idea. You were like, well, I didn't think about actually starting on my own because I've worked with these monster firms and I've always been an employee with a check that I get every 2 weeks, and they pay for my health care. They do no. Well, why don't you just try this? And you're like, oh, okay, and you just try it, and you're like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at it. Because I've been pretty good at. You've been pretty successful to this point. And then Al and I, we talk about this because we both were we can call it like it is. We were very successful in the corporate world, and then we gave it all up to go absolutely shit the bed in the entrepreneurial
Yes.
world and give up all kinds of money.
Amen.
So, but you've done it. So
Yeah.
you start out, but you get that nudge, and I think a lot of us, one way or the other, have a nudge, and we get that. And I think sometimes you got to, when that door opens, you got to walk through it and see what happens.
And that's been sort of my story, kind of walking through doors and like, yeah, I don't know. I was talking with somebody on my team this morning, just really about the 20th anniversary and kind of how we got here and kind of capturing all of that. And I think there's sort of along my life path in terms of professionally and really kind of otherwise, kind of set a goal and get it, and set a goal and get it, and I really hit them. And it's kind of been kind of a black and white journey. But starting a business and being an entrepreneur, you have to be very comfortable in the gray. And I am. And I didn't know that about myself.
That sounds like a confession.
And yeah, it's like I'm
See?
like, okay. And you know what? Yeah, great. Let's try it. And then let's figure out the, kind of the fail fast, make decisions or whatever. And so
I think we just found the episode of this podcast is being comfortable in the gray. Welcome to the entrepreneurial world. Because you're right. Right. There is no black and white in what we do.
Crazy.
It is. It is. You thought craziness was watching these rockers at 3:00 in the morning. And you're like, damn, I wish my life was more normal like that. Because my world's twice as crazy as yours there, Matchbox 20.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it literally, and it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for, it's interesting. I was just at the chamber for sort of this women's event. And I'm like, I don't associate myself with being a woman business leader because I'm a business owner. I'm a business leader. It doesn't matter, whatever my gender is. And I think that the characteristics and the balls it takes to really make a decision that impacts people's lives.
That's funny because I know the chamber event you were at, and speaking of balls, Tina McKenna was there as well. And the person who got recognized there is another person. I don't think we had her on a podcast, but yeah.
Besides me.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who it was. They got recognized. I saw Tina got tagged in it. It was Greater North Fulton Chamber.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That was me. I was one of them.
You're one of them who got recognized? So, that's hilarious.
Woman of the Year.
That was you?
Yeah.
Hello. I didn't see it because it happened. Well, I was getting ready to go on.
You were there, and I'm like, how'd you miss my lovely speech on stage?
No, I saw it on Facebook because Tina's been on, and she was there, and she got.
He's got the attention span of an.
Anyway, can we get back to me, please, Alan? Thank you. My God.
Now you understand.
Congratulations on getting recognized. But I looked at that picture and I went,
I'm keep telling you, she's amazing, and you're going to have to pull it out of her.
I know.
Because she's just glossing over an
That's
enormous
so
amount of
funny.
stuff
So
that
it
makes
was
your
you
jaw hit the floor.
that got recognized.
That was
Because
before.
Tina is, again, back to the, she's not a chick. I mean, you're right. You know what?
Business is business.
Business is business, right? Hey, keeping the family. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the family. And she's a paisan too. She got keeping the family. I like it even better. So congratulations. You're right. You have to pull it out. Well done. That is amazing. I just saw that she was there, and I just saw it was her, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought I recognized another lady who was with you guys that had been on the pod. Was it Lisa, the attorney, Lisa Goldberg?
This is such good content.
Oh, shut up, Alan. Cut this out, Alan. Hey, Cindy, cut that last part out. Yeah, it's not going to happen, guys. We all know it. Let's get back to Lisa. All right. So you go off, you start rocking this. You do one.
Yeah.
Then you have a kid while you're doing it.
Yes, I started pregnant,
Nice.
which,
Wow.
kind of drains
Do you
your
advise?
energy.
Do you advise that?
No,
Okay.
I say that, but somebody asked me, what choices would you make differently over your 20 years? I'm like, not one. I wouldn't change one. There's really not, it's bizarre to say, and I don't know if that sounds arrogant or not.
Can you say
But-
that, Chris?
What's 20 times 365?
No, there you go.
That's how many I have. Every flipping day I wake up.
Well, yes, but different decisions.
Oh, right.
Right, today,
No,
somebody says, I want to go out on my own. Should I start a business? I say, absolutely not.
right.
It's a completely different environment.
Well,
Swimming upstream the whole time.
that's where the next question is. Would you, knowing what you know now, would you start your business today?
Oh, that's a very interesting question because I wouldn't change starting a business, but today's environment is So challenging.
So I wrestled with this question because I just got this one posed to me, and I was like, the reason we started this podcast 4.5 years ago, and I begged Alan to come on with me because I wouldn't do this without him, was that we didn't have this information available to us. And this is even in 2006 and seven. If you think about it, how fast we've come, and we want to get this out there to as many people as we can, is so you can make an informed decision. And guess what? Don't make the stupid mistakes I made. And hopefully, I help you miss a few. And Alan chimes in and says, "Hey guys, don't do this. Go that way." And we have great guests on like you, and we do this. Is it harder today? I would actually say no. I'd say it's a little bit easier, but the challenge is different
Agreed.
because
100%.
there's so much to look at. And back to what we just said, 7 seconds. What were we talking about again? Attention span. What? What? Hello, squirrel.
I totally agree with that assessment because it is easier. There are more resources. There's even more funding. There are more grants, especially I'll bring out, women entrepreneurship, but really just sort of any sort of cohort, right? So yes, easier, clearer path to information. Now you've got AI that comes into it and you can do different types of search and how to do this, that, and the other. At the same time, I got my new healthcare bill.
Whoops.
Because we have open enrollment. Because, when you get into employees, that's what I'm talking about. The people piece is different. And it has evolved so much, so differently since the pandemic and how people go to work and how their association with work is and how their association with employers are very, very different today. And it's just been sort of exponentially different. It was coming, but there's something like a pandemic and then, economic shifts and all of that really exacerbate the change, right? So I think it's really the people piece that you have to go, if you are going to be an employer. So starting a business is one thing. Employing people is an entirely different thing. So I would just say, go with eyes wide open, talk to people who have done it, not just started businesses, because that employment piece is a lot.
Well, and that's part of the service that you offer, right? And it's interesting you mentioned that you kind of fled a toxic work culture, and one of the things you specialize in now is, and you'll say it better, but it's creating a healthy work environment, which is extra challenging when people don't want to be at work or they want to work from home. I don't know how you create culture in today's environment if they're not there.
Yeah, we see so much. So just briefly, we're marketing communications, but equally internal stakeholders. So what you're talking about is, working with heads of HR, chief human resources, chief talent officers, chief people officers, there's all these titles, to really how they connect their employees and how do they just communicate with them? Because that's what people aren't doing, companies aren't doing well at all. And there's so much, I say the world's problems can be solved through good communication.
It's like we have so much communication now and we're bad at it. We're worse at it. Yeah.
So there's this thing, it's like, well, we send out emails every day and nobody reads them. Okay, well, that's your problem, not the employee's problem. So you're not delivering a product. So that's what we kind of take the stance of connecting with employees, the most important, most expensive P&L or line item on your P&L, any companies.
100%.
And how then
200%.
200%, right.
500%.
Keep going.
700%.
Keep going.
1,025%. 1,000,000%.
I think you just broke Chris.
Financial.
Sorry.
No, oh, I'm back. Sorry. Tilt. All right, back. We're back.
Okay, I did a good one on that.
Yeah. But anyway,
We gotta make the noise.
It's
Yeah.
too much. People don't want to hear it. They're flooded with information. So then look at how you're communicating and do it differently. Don't just shove more communication down their gullets and use more video. Look at how people are consuming information, because for companies to think that they're going to consume information differently as an employer is just batty.
Let's talk about one. All right. So obviously, a lot of us listening are small business owners, but we get to that point where you've got where does communication change? What is one cool way we should communicate today, or one way that's most effective that you said, "Hey, cutting edge, let's try it."
It doesn't even have to be cutting edge, but it's video.
Video.
Yeah. It's telling a story in short snippets the way that people are going to want to see and hear it.
Got it.
So like Chris could do a "you suck" video in 7 seconds.
You know what? I actually, Alan, if we want to go back and if would have filmed me kicking the door, I think everybody would
No,
thought
he
exactly
kicked the
what I
door
thought.
in person versus kicking a door on a video. Does it have the same gravitas? Okay.
No, it doesn't.
How,
Definitely.
how about after I slammed my door and the fire extinguisher rings from the two of them fell in my office.
Yeah.
They went dink 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 dink.
You hear that?
Yeah, I know. And then I went over there and tried to kick them and almost fell on my ass because they fell. One of them hit my desk, and so I flung it off there, and it flung off the wall, and I tried to kick it in the air like I'm some Pele soccer star or Ronaldo, whatever. And I almost
Because say Pele was our generation.
so back to let's connect with our people. So I did not, but yes. So I think filming the door would have gotten the well.
Well, then, but have fun with it. I mean, that's the point of it, regardless of whatever medium. Here's the other
Then
thing.
maybe we should also film my trash can where they put the target on it, which is still in my office because the trash can that has a big dent in it, but they put a target over it. That was many years ago. This one it's taken a couple of years to get to this point again. but it came back. The passion's back.
You were about to say.
I have passion.
It's totally irrelevant. No, I'm just kidding.
I've got it. No, I've got it. Lisa has helped me figure out how to communicate better to my people. She goes, no, fear is not a good message. No, I'm not saying fear.
Here's a video of me slashing your tires.
Get to work.
You know what? You could sell it though. Here's the thing, you could sell it. Okay, he's dying over here. I feel that he could sell it.
He could.
No, okay, so people come working for you with their eyes wide open, right?
They would.
Well, if they didn't, they are now.
They are now.
They have. No, trust me. Everybody comes eyes wide open with me. They know.
So two things: be authentic,
I agree with that.
He has
100%.
no
I talk
problem with it.
because they can smell the BS meter just like anything else. Then it doesn't even matter what you say. You could sit there and sing the alphabet. It doesn't matter what you say if it's not inherently you. So use your trash can. And then the other thing is just consistency. That's the biggest problem is consistency. So it's like, okay, great, I'm going to do videos, and you hold on for a month, and then the videos go away.
Or yeah, they read a new book. I remember like I still smart from the whole when Jim Collins wrote Good to Great, and all of a sudden everybody tried to be, genuine or whatever the buzzwords were.
Bust. Get the right butt in the right seat, Alan.
No, I know that was it, but it was like a leader is what was it? What was it?
I don't know. We've all read it, but it's
I don't
not
know.
my
But
minute.
it was
Yeah.
It has.
pretending to be something that they weren't because they read.
We're trying to move the flywheel, Alan.
Okay.
Trying to move the flywheel.
Flywheel. Yeah,
It's every day.
it's too much.
Did I mention 20 years times 365? How many times? There's been a lot of mistakes. All right. But I love
Okay.
that Lisa's still going.
Hey, I have made mistakes. I'm not saying I didn't make mistakes.
Oh,
and
no.
I don't have any regrets on the path that I took because,
20 times 360.
okay,
Keeping it authentic. Hey, I'm staying real here, El. Yeah, I got to stay real. Come on. You said stay real, girl. I'm staying real.
please do.
All right. Thank you. All right. This has been great. All right. But you talk about internal communications and helping people. So what size companies do you work with the most?
big.
Big. Yeah, but
Because she's a big deal. I'm
Oh.
feeling it.
I mean, I'm serious.
Killing me.
They're big deals.
the companies that we work with are okay, so there's really two. One are the larger companies with say 5,000 to 14,000 employees. A lot of them are international, and we represent all of their North American interests. So how do you speak? What's the colloquialisms that are important?
Well, that's interesting. So
What
they've got
is
their
in
thing
the
going on in Germany, and it doesn't translate here.
Yes, not the
Ah.
same way at all. And
Oh,
some
wow.
things that are funny are not so funny over here.
Oh.
We're very special, or that's very dry, or whatever. So we have clients in Finland, Poland, Sweden, Israel, Ukraine.
So no German?
No German right now.
Oh, damn it. Because I was going to use
'Cause
the
that would
Peter
be-
Sitzel. Hello, my Peter Sitzels. Nope, that doesn't work over here, big guy. Can't use that one. No, let's strike that one. Let's go with a different one. I go kielbasa. Nope. Nope. That's Polish. You blew it. Yeah.
You just went down a rabbit hole I didn't even follow. But anyway,
Thank you.
so so there'll be larger
Stayed
companies.
outside.
4.5 years of that.
That's
Lisa.
right, girl. That's right. Thank you.
But to your point, this is small.
How are you intercepting that before it comes out in
I
the
know,
US?
seriously.
I mean,
What? Their communication?
Yeah.
yeah.
So you have to translate it and you go, no.
Do they come to you and go, "Is this okay? Is this going to work?" And no.
We work at the very beginning.
Mm.
We work with our teams to write it. Is okay. What is the strategy? What do you have coming out? Oh, it's open enrollment. Oh, like we work with these with retainers, so we're on with them every.
Do they all think we're
month.
crazy?
Yeah. The fun thing about working with international clients, you have to sometimes get up at start calls at 5 and 6 in the morning, but it's the conversation that we have about what the heck is going on in the world. And you get such a great perspective. And we have conversations with these clients every week or every other week. And if we're working with them on the internal and the employee comms piece, we really need to know kind of what is the sentiment? What are you feeling? What are they feeling? What are you hearing? We do employee pulse surveys, so we kind of genuinely hear from them. And then it's our responsibility is to create the cadence, the messaging, the kind of responsiveness on the North American side, mostly in US and Canada, not so much on the South America piece, but and it's to make sure that they're speaking that with the company ethos in mind, because it can't be separate. It just has to be an interpretation.
Wow. So how many people do you have employed now? How many people are in your company?
We are 18.
So how much, so as you've grown for this, and obviously you built this, what is your day to day and what do you miss the most about going back to when you first started?
I don't miss anything when they first started because I have had an evolution that I absolutely love, right? I've been doing this for a long time. And so it took the last couple years to really create my senior team. And that's made all the difference. So I have a head of HR, head of people and talent, which for a small company like me isn't always the case. So me making that investment in that position of a wonderfully seasoned partner that I have who's
That's a
done this.
position you can't go cheap on.
You cannot, because then it's not worth it. Then you're just,
Right.
yeah,
Creating more problems with your HR person that you need another HR person to fix.
yeah. Exactly. Or a very expensive consultant.
Right.
And all of that is bad.
Right.
But we
Why do I keep thinking enema when you keep talking? I don't.
what goes in and
I
what
get
goes
a little
out.
close to home every time I say something.
Oh boy. Okay.
And then I have anyway 2 others.
The
So
quote of 2026 right now. I'll give you that one, Chris.
why do I keep thinking about enemas? Now I want you to repeat what you said.
I just broke Alan. Yes.
Like Alan.
Yes. Yes. Everybody, 4.5
Seen
years.
something reasonably smart that actually hits a little too close to home. That's why I just gave him a
He knocked
mental
you down.
enema. No, I just gave him an enema.
You did. You got me. All right. So you can't go go back
Can't
to
go
Alan.
deep on the HR.
Can't go
That's what
deep on HR and people and talent management. You
Yeah.
felt that. You've got the great partner there.
Yeah.
And so you have a great senior team now.
Senior leadership.
That had to be a hard evolution for you because
Took years.
give up control.
Took years. It wasn't as much as the give up control because now I'm like, yay, take it.
yeah.
Things.
Please.
Take all
Wow.
the things. But it took a year of us working together for me to make sure that they understood my vision, because that is continually important, because we've created something very specific and very special. However, and 2 of them I've known for almost a decade, right? And then another one came on when I actually bought her company, and I knew she had an entrepreneurial mindset. So the 4 of us are very specific people for specific reasons that create the senior leadership team for my company that wouldn't work for any other company. So that's what I'm saying. Like when we're talking about small companies, when we're talking about entrepreneurs who want to get to that next level, it's finding your number 2.
Yeah.
That period. There's no way to get past a certain level without finding a number 2 that you trust. And then if you can pull in HR into that next, and again, these are investments. I I mean, at one point, one of them was making more than I was, like, but I didn't care because I was like, this has to happen. And then we'll
I want
grow
everybody to
into
feel
it.
that one because that's another one of when you talk to people who have never started a business, they come to us and they go, "Oh God, I wish I could do what you're doing." I'm like, "Do you really? Do you really like to not make money for like 3 months in a row and everybody gets a
Thank
paycheck
you.
except you?"
Yes.
No, and you just said it. So you got to bring on a number two, who is actually making more money than you, and I rhymed it on purpose, Alan, because
you're so clever.
that is thank you because that is definitely a do.
So it's kind of interesting. So, usually when a company scales, the first thing that they invest in is sales,
I know.
and you did not.
I did not.
And then they invest in operations to back up the sales that they just made. And then the fourth leg of the chair is HR.
Yeah, and that can be back ass words. It can be because you what?
He speaks my language.
So awesome.
Back asswards. That's one of my favorite
Oh,
words.
she's just so freaking comfortable with all this.
I,
I mean, she's just built an empire
She did.
and speaks so effortlessly about it.
I know.
And how far along were you when because you started consulting? I mean, you obviously felt comfortable when you're working in radio and you'd done some neat things. Now all of a sudden it's your deal. And boom, I've got an international client. Did you fight the imposter syndrome? Did you have any fake it till you make it? Or did you actually feel pretty good along the way?
such a good question. Because sometimes I ignore. Sorry,
Not really.
Suck it,
Seriously.
Chris.
You know what? Give me more.
That's too.
I think I promptly ignored the imposter syndrome. Honestly,
Really?
and just pushed it through.
Really?
I pushed through. Yeah, because people ask me, it's a real thing, and it doesn't mean I don't have it.
Oh,
Well, it's a real thing.
oh
Alan.
yeah.
Yeah, but I chose to ignore it. Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, you can say you
Seriously.
choose to ignore it, but
So,
ignoring it's
Can I
another
say
thing.
this?
Yeah.
That's such not a chick thing to do, right? I mean, again, a woman in touch with her feelings. We're a bunch of men, and she goes, "No, I ignored it." I'm like, here I am over there sucking it in, bringing it in, going, "Oh my god, what have I done? What have I done? I was such a chick." I'm kidding. All right, that's not good, not nice. I know wrong things, but my point is, I had a lot of imposter syndrome.
yeah.
Because you get up and 18 years later, you're like, yeah. And everybody's like, wow, I wish I could be like you. And like, nope, you really don't. Nope.
And this is your fault, Lisa, because you told him to be authentic.
I did.
You did. She did. She gave me the green flag.
Permission.
Because I can work with authentic. I can't work the other way around.
Oh, she's going to work with me.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you built your team
Built-
differently. Yeah.
I don't know. You asked so many good questions.
Oh, dear.
What was it, Alan? What
Please,
we had it
sucking
so
up to the co-host does not help.
So we talked about building, the four legs of the chair, but that is funny. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
But I was just asking, at what point when you were building your business did you have? I mean, you just have this experience and this confidence, and I mean, you know exactly what's going on. But
She does have a great demeanor and poise about her. Yeah.
yeah,
very sweet. I think that okay. One of the key things that I have found to be successful because a lot of people come to me and say, I'm thinking about going out on my own, blah, blah, blah. And I'm happy to talk to them because if I can help anybody avoid any of the, fits and starts. And I always started the business to be the type of business I needed in that moment and to let it grow organically, which is why I didn't need to invest in sales, going back to your point, was because to this day, we are still 91% referral business. A lot of people don't even know who we are because we don't strongly market ourselves. But then I talk to people about what we do and the number of people that we impact, the help that we've given clients that are really, it's monetized. They're like, how do you do, and why haven't I heard about you? And it is sort of this, we work with clients, they go to somewhere else, they always bring us around. And then we're staying with those clients. We have 10, 15, 30 year, not 15, 10, 15 year tenures with some of our clients and how we've been able to grow. And I think that the piece of growing organically as the business comes without there's this movement of I'm going to start a business, I'm going to grow it.
Right.
into what? And to what end?
Yeah, bigger is not better.
Right.
Better is better.
Really is not.
Well,
Right.
the end for some people is to get a big boat.
And a pool.
Sell it like sort of this fantasy land of, it's the same thing as like keeping up with the Joneses. I kind of compare it to, right? And if you think you're going to start a business and you're going to sell it or whatever, that is the wrong reason to go into business.
1,100%. Guys, listen to that one again, because if you start your business with the end in mind is, I'm going to sell it, that's the wrong end in mind that we're talking about, because
We've had people on this podcast repeatedly who are like, if you don't start a business with an exit strategy in mind, you're making a mistake.
Different.
exit strategy
It's
different.
different.
Okay.
If you're sitting
unpack
there,
that.
if you're putting your vision board together of, I own an island down in the Bahamas. I have my boat that takes me down there with my private jet that gets me over there.
Keep going.
For example,
I'm just saying hypothetically,
Off the cuff.
just coming up with a few. Look, I broke you two. It's beautiful. So that's the wrong way to start the biz, because that's not why you're doing it. That was never my intent in the beginning. But I did tell people my why in the beginning was not it was I was going to go make a lot of flipping money, and if it meant that I had to work hard and do whatever, but I controlled my own time. And that was the biggest thing for me, because I didn't control my own time when I was in corporate America. My kids, I was Mr. Third Inning in their sporting events. I used to joke about that. Then I became their coaches. But I didn't do that to become that guy. I became the guy who was trying to build it. But if you're doing it for all the accoutrements, as it were, you're wrong.
It just is a different kind of pressure that I don't think leads to long success. Now,
Good point.
yes, there are people who do it. There are people who can do it. There are people, I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong to do it, but if you're looking to build a business that has longevity and is a good employer to people, it's not that with the end in mind.
Did you
And
ever?
that was important to me.
Did you ever think, this is it? I'm done. I'm just going to close it up and go away.
Never.
Yeah.
Okay, I did.
20
Okay,
times 360.
Sorry. Yes.
Every day.
There's a point about you're not wrong. There's a point, I think I was about 3 or 4 years in. And at this point, I had hired my first W-2 employee. And to get to that point, now you need insurance plans. And now you use workers' comp. And now like it's a whole different thing. And I love her. And I still do. We still stay in touch. Well, she loved the work that we were doing, that she went to work for, not a client, but in the industry. In fact, she's still there at the same company that she left Full Tilt for. But at that point, I had built a portfolio of business that needed 2 full-time people. And now I had one. I had me, in addition to trying to find someone to replace her. And God, I could have 12 hands and not have enough things on my plate already, right?
And
So
by then you had how many kids?
I had both of my children then. So 2 under 3.
Oh, this is fun.
And, so all the things. So then I had this moment of just pure, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I said, and it was the week of Thanksgiving. And so family was in town and we were, getting ready. And there was a moment.
Which is never stressful.
Yeah, I know. Look at that Thanksgiving freaking dinner on top of that. And so I said,
That was the most stressful thing.
I'll never.
You want a turkey leg? I'll give you a turkey leg.
Yeah, go catch it with your, like throw it across the dining room. And so I said, either this is a moment in time, this is a decision point, and I knew that at the time. And I said, I'm either going to shut her down and go find a job somewhere, or I'm going to push through again, sort of that push. I think entrepreneurs need to have those moments where you're like, I'm just pushing this shit through, like, because I can't do anything else and I don't want to go backwards. It took a less than a minute for me to say, I am not continuing. I'm not going back to corporate or any other job. That was the only moment in this time of this now 20 years that I was like,
Wow.
yeah, no. And then I pushed through and I've just never looked back. But there've been moments, those growth stages that are quite painful. I have now in my head how to make them less painful. And so I just like talking to people about it.
You bet. That's why we got this podcast, guys. You listen to Lisa, Full Tilt Marketing, which, let me get your marketing budget one more time. How much do you spend on advertising again?
0.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, and it's Full Tilt Consulting because there's a different company as Full Tilt Marketing.
Oh, so you're Full Tilt Consulting.
Yes.
Well, then you don't have to spend money on advertising. Yeah, screw those other guys.
It's Full Tilt.
That's the imposters over there. Let's go, Lisa Tilt, Full Tilt Consulting. How can everybody get a hold of you?
I don't know
love
if she wants up to.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, she might. I mean, I think a lot of people out there, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, with the
Consulting.com. Find me.
find her. And
I'm on
you can say
LinkedIn.
that Alan recommended you, not Chris. Alan.
Go.
Yeah. No, Chris will. Chris is definitely a big fan. We're both a big fan. And she's now been awarded this great chamber. What was it? What was the award you got today?
It was Businesswoman of the Year.
But you are so not good at promoting yourself on this.
I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
She can help other people promote.
I know.
Say I was one of 4, and I got to meet 3 other wonderful women, plus women-owned businesses, and it was an amazing.
We need her back.
Horrific.
Do we?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Alan says
we're
we're
not even
bringing you
close
back.
to being done.
This is
See if you'll
awesome,
come
but
back.
guys, we got to wrap this thing up. And we already we're not even going to get the final 4 because we're kind of coming to the end. So I think we have to hit it up. She did great, guys. You've heard a great story today. You've heard a lot of great nuggets. This is the stuff that goes down. You know what? Go check her out. She's willing to help people. You know, we're all willing to help people. That's why we did this thing every day, every week, every moment. 365.
65.
I think that we should have just not done this, but we did it. We're going to keep helping you make it up that mountain. Let's keep going. Get up that mountaintop. Let's find success. It's one day at a time, one step at a time. Let's get out of here. We're going to go.
Cheers, everybody.